what have you learned kind of from traveling recently? Because like, and maybe it keeps going with this line of thinking, is that like, being based somewhere, the pandemic happens. I've kind of talked to a lot of people about this. And then in the last few months, you kind of, did some travel. So I don't want to ask like what the best food is or like who you found most interesting, but like, did you learn something more about yourself by actually moving like from point A to point B, like getting yourself in motion?
Yeah. So it's actually it's very related to the thing we were just talking about, which is great because there's some sort of more stuff I want to say about it. So one thing, just wrapping up the previous
Yeah.
thing, is like I when you talk about concessions, it's like I think a lot of people find themselves resentfully making concessions, and that
Oh,
seems
100%. Yeah.
real
Yeah.
bad. Like,
Yeah.
if that's what concession means, don't fucking do it. Like,
True.
do your best to not ever do that.
Yeah. Right.
People all, there's also this quote, although I think the quote is actually maybe satire. It's important to track this stuff, but sometimes people
Mm-hmm.
quote satirical quotes as if they're real. And the quote is, a good compromise is when everyone leaves like slightly unsatisfied.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
Now, like, you wouldn't want to compromise your bank account. You wouldn't want to compromise your, your password to your email. Like, why would you want to compromise a decision?
Right.
Is something I kind of point. There's like it's kind of a playful thing, but it's like a decision that is compromised is one that is unresolved. Like,
Yeah.
people are still kind of wanting it to be the other way. Whereas if you find a win-win, it's like people are going to be working in service of making the thing that you decided on work because they see how it works for them. They feel satisfied with how it works for them.
That's like a non-zero sum
Yeah,
game, right? Like
yeah,
where you get both best worlds or whatever.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's like on the level that you're considering, um, it's easy to think that um, it's easy to think that you can't satisfy both preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes, not always, sometimes there is actually a way to satisfy them, even though they don't both look satisfiable.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that this is, in some sense, very often true. And importantly, it sort of has to be true internally to you. And this
Okay.
is what makes being an individual different from trust dancing between people, is like or negotiating or whatever between people. It's like, if you and I, so suppose that you and I were traveling together, and going back to the travel thing, and
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to I really wanted on this particular day to go surfing, and you really wanted to like nap in the hotel room or whatever.
Sure.
We could just both do that.
Yeah.
I could
No
go surfing, you
conflicts.
nap in the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a conflict there. I mean,
Yeah.
like, maybe I want to go surfing with you. Like, I'm like, that would be fun. And, maybe you like, you wish I was like around to like, receive the takeout while you lazed in bed doing nothing or whatever. Like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
like, for the most part, we can basically just like do our own thing.
Sure.
But like, one part of me and another part of me can't go each do their own thing.
Right.
For the most part, like we share a body. Like, I cannot be napping and surfing at the same time for sure. So there's a sense in which, as an individual, you somehow need to figure out what you as a whole want.
Mm-hmm.
I think a confusion comes in when you think that it's sort of your job to answer the question. In my experience, it's more like it's your job to facilitate the question answering itself.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
So it's like
Mm-hmm.
in the case of this party versus do work example that I gave, in this hypothetical, there's no way that I can. It's obviously, in the case of this hypothetical, there's no way I can say what the right answer is. Like, it depends on the person's values, and it depends on the precise nature of the situation, like whether they can reschedule something tomorrow, whether there's going to be a dumb DJ there, whatever.
Sure.
But it's not just that I can't say what the right answer is about this hypothetical. It's actually that if I'm in the situation, I don't know what the right answer is. That's the very situation that I'm
Mm-hmm.
in. So it's sort of like I need to find out. I can't just say, oh, well, it should be this, so I got to find a way to make this. Nope. I actually don't know. That's why I'm stuck.